Okay, so your students are digital learners. You need to always keep in mind. This movie reminds me of my past visit to elementary school. Actually, it's a classroom. There's a lot of computers in that classroom. That's very interesting. But no one used that computer. So I asked the students, why you didn't use these computers? And then the students said that my teacher asked us not to use. And one of the children said, because she doesn't know about it. Um, I didn't check if his saying is right or not. But I don't want my future science teachers to hear that from their students. You are the best science teachers. I'm sure about it. And that's why you need to know how to use technology in your science classroom, because science always goes with the technology. Okay, uh, especially in the future, there are lots of things gonna happen because it's still these things happen, like sim school. Your sim school is like it looks like this. Sim school is for future teachers like you. Um, they want to practice classroom situation. Um, so this sim school makes you develop some students information like this, and then create your assignments lesson plan like this, and then they develop a classroom, and then randomly the students ask you questions, then you can answer. So through this program, future teachers can practice classroom situation. Nowadays, people normally just think, oh, you need to go actual classroom. Right, that would be great. But as technology developed, technology can help you practice more. So this one, before you go to classroom, actual classroom, this one helps you to think about how to plan lessons, how to organize assessment method, how to do with classroom management, something like that. So SimSchool is a good tool for you to practice. And Second Life, um, it has a lot of community together on this online, and you can choose some community. Of course, in this Second Life, you can have universities, classrooms, and museums, all kind of community you can develop, and you can share. You can share. I'm sorry, and also you can meet many people on this virtual reality. So you can experience life on this virtual online. So, but this kind of things gonna more often happen, more often happening in the future, and you already realize how much virtual reality in your life, right? And many movies also talk about, they give some warning to you. In the future, people don't move at all. They just lay down on the ground or machine, and they just imagine. They just be in virtual reality, and they become everything. They can be rich people, they can be president, they can be martial art people, they can be a soldier, they can be everything. And in the imagination, they learn, they explore, they do everything. That's possible. Then, as a science teacher, what would you do? You need to prepare yourself for this future world. Of course, like sim school and Second Life is has a positive aspects. It makes you more convenient way to learn, right? And also, this virtual reality therapy gives you more positive ideas about virtual reality, because when people do this virtual work with the virtual reality, they can get some benefits. I'm gonna show this movie clip first.
Science Central.
I was on fire. I couldn't see to unbuckle my seatbelt or open the door. I believe my guardian angel just took me out of the truck.
First Lieutenant Samuel Brown survived an attack on his Humvee in southern Afghanistan, but he would then have to endure rounds of surgery, skin grafts, and painful skin stretching.
This is a battle that's going to take years to get back to being how it was prior to this.
But while Brown's body fights that battle, virtual reality technology lets his brain enjoy hurling snowballs to the music of Paul Simon. University of Washington researchers Hunter Hoffman and David Patterson designed the virtual reality game Snow World to occupy burn patients' minds during painful wound cleaning or physical therapy.
Snow World's the opposite of fire. Snowy, cold. It's supposed to cancel out and help distract them from remembering their original injury.
Their previous research showed that not only do patients report less pain in Snow World, MRI scans show it reduces the brain's pain signals. Brown's doctors see real improvement.
What we saw was marked improvement in the range of motion that we were able to achieve, and most importantly, an increased level of comfort.
As published in the Journal of Cybertherapy and Rehabilitation, the soldiers even report a fun quotient.
I spent some time growing up out in Colorado skiing during the winters and stuff, so if anything, it sort of brings back some of those memories.
A cool escape for a war hero putting the pieces back together. Brad Plaza, Science Central News.
Okay, so you saw a lot of positive aspects of using virtual reality, right? So again, as a science teacher, you need to know how to use technology in your science classroom, because of course science goes with technology together, and also there are lots of benefits you can find using technology. Then how are you going to use technology in your science classroom? Think about it. How? Maybe you might use some computers, right? And showing some movie clips like I did. Or you can use some like virtual games, online games, to learn some science concepts, right? Yeah, those are very good ways to use technology. But today, of course, when you have a good software, then you can have a good way to combine technology in your classroom, right? So of course, I'm gonna introduce some good software you can use for science classroom. And also, I'm gonna share how you're gonna evaluate the software to use technology to use in your science classroom. Okay, so I'm gonna mostly introduce software and how to evaluate it. All right. When you think about technology, first thing in your mind, it's gonna be video game. I'm sure your digital learners gonna have science games in their hands when they go home. So I think it'll be a good idea to use the video games in your science classroom. Then how are you gonna use the video game for science, for teaching science? So I can suggest two things. How video games are made. That's also science, right? Secondly, you can think about usefulness and impact of video games. So how we made and the video game itself. You think about those two things first to use video games in neuroscience education. About how video games are made, you can think about game design, graphics, audio game, programming. Those things you can use for teaching science. Because normally when you have a video game design, it has logical arrangement, and the programming and the audio sound. Those things can talk about science. So think about, you better have a chance to analyze the video games, especially how it was made, and then those graphics, audience, and programming you can think about to teach science. And also, you can think about the impact of video game to teach science, like human behavior during the gameplay, effect of social educational content in the game, and usefulness of simulation in training experimentation. Because some software can give great science experiment, like frog animation, or you can cut it and analyze the organs inside the frog, something like that. So you can use some content of good educational software, educational video games. Okay? Like this, I will show one video game, and let's think about how you're gonna use this for your science classroom.